Okay, people, so Me Little Me, right? This is the new film from Elizabeth Ayiku. Uh, I feel I butchered that last name, but yes, Elizabeth also wrote the film. Um, she also is a producer on the film along with Nikki J. Crawford. It's executive produced by Luke Taylor, Nikki Steer Justice, Matthew Helderman, associate produced by Lisa Cisneros, Maya E. Jones, and Natalie Katz. Amit May Cohen took care of the music. Bryce Lansing was on cinematography. Elizabeth also edits the piece. That's her background, editing. You know what I mean? Our cast, right? So, we have got Maya, played by Akia Dasia Williams. We've got Theo, played by Shamar Philippe. Ray is played by Tamir Al-Bazir. Alma is played by Elena Kornilova. Kiki is played by Zawan Jin. There's Shay, played by Frania Del Carmen. Dex is played by Christian Ventura. Steph is played by Kay Capasso. Kayla is played by Morel Flores. We've got Judith Eisenberg as Justine. Taylor Hawk as Kim. Elle is played by Nikki J. Crawford. Alan is played by James Dittamy. Cheryl is played by Ajibik Adieko. Will is played by Jared Massey. Clark Moore is Davis. Monty is played by Brandon Sutton. Renelle is played by Rashida D. Terry. Bethany is played by Marty Malley. Gladys is played by Sadia Robinson. That's our main group. The gist is this: after an unexpected promotion, an ambitious young woman grapples with demanding expectations in her male-dominated industry. As her mental health declines, relationship strain and reminders from her past resurface. This is this is a difficult one, people, right? Now, it's the feature directorial debut from Elizabeth. And yeah, the film, it's dealing with like a lady with an eating disorder. And there's a claustrophobia about this, right? There's a real intimacy in the way it's been filmed. A lot of times we are up close with Maya, and I think you feel very much in her, like, because the way we're moving around, on screen, the camera work, right? It just feels like you're real up close. You're on her shoulder a lot of the times. And we open up, right? So we're in a house, and we see these notes. Like, she's got notes all over the place. She's got like charts and schedules, little reminders, like a toolkit, reframe, just all these affirmations and goals and things such as that. Then we see her prepping food, right? And it's very meticulous, right? There's a plan, there's a focus here. right? We just, everything she's doing, there's a conscious thought behind it. So we see her at work, and then we see her with these group of people, right? And it's like these talking about food, eating schedules, and like, oh, have you had your snack? And oh, today we're doing, we're eating this today, and this is what we're going to try, and just all of this stuff. Now, we don't know necessarily what exactly is up at first, but I think you can draw assumptions, right? There's things that you're kind of thinking, okay, right? And also, there's been some sort of trauma. Something has happened, right? So that's another thing. You're watching, waiting for this hammer to drop, right? The revelations of what it could be. But we see her navigating life, and sometimes, these things, as she's got this schedule, they kind of throw her off track, right? It disrupts this flow that she's cultivated. And we notice that that's not good. You know what I mean? That is then creating tension. That's creating this worry, this anxiety. And then we see her making choices that, she's not doing at first, right? Falling out with people, where there's not necessarily a reason for it, And I think a thing that I did enjoy, because a lot of times, because this is a raw emotions, right? And so many times in a film, like someone, they fall out with someone. And then the person's just like, hey, man. And they're like, oh, my God, you're so right. Ah. And then it's all back together, right? There's no real conversation about what went down, right? How you can avoid that shit in the future. It's just suddenly, oh, everything's good. Nothing ever happened. So it feels very unrealistic. And we see these things happen, but it's not quick fixes. And that's the good thing, right? It definitely feels realistic, which is part of the anxiety of watching this frigging film. You know what I mean? Because it feels very close to home, right? You've seen these traits in people that you maybe know from a distance, or maybe have read about, right? So it's very relatable. I think the performances are great. You know what I mean? Like what we see from Ayiku. Because the way she plays Maya, like, this has to be a subtle kind of performance. It can't just be like, you know what I mean? All dramatic and all over the place, right? Because it's that slow breakdown, you know what I mean? That losing of control. So it's not this fast thing. And we see that. Like there's one point when she goes to the bar and you can be like, she's all getting ready and just like, oh yeah, new earrings and all of this. But then, like, you can see her getting frustrated, right? Which then leads to, bad choices. And we see all of that. And it's just like, ooh. Right? Even at the end, well, towards the end, with all of that, right? What's going down, trying to relay that information, how difficult it is. But the other great thing about that scene is, I mean, because we're seeing a lot of this through her point of view. Her boss you see it from a different point of view, right? Where it's just like, if you don't know anything, you mean, how are you meant to react to something? Now, obviously, right, there's a way you should treat people just in general. But some people are very brash and just like, well, this is what I expect, boom, 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 right? But if you know all the information, you can change your approach. But if you don't know anything, what do you do? You know, so I think we see things from this different point of view towards the, which is very interesting. Right. And I think that's an important thing. And it's realistic, you know? It's really like, not everyone is evil or bad or just trying to fuck with you. It's just like, no one necessarily knows the struggles that are going on with you internally. And I think the film does a very good job of kind of relaying that. You know, we don't ever really find out the underlying cause of what happened to Maya. It's alluded to. And, oh, I mean, I get it, right? I get it. There ain't no forgiveness on that front if it is what it seems to be. You know what I mean? Yeah, ain't forgiving. But it's very complex. It's a very complex, layered film that is, I think, approaching this situation from this kind of different way. You know, there's a lot of time we see eating disorders and it's this journey and everyone's on this recovery and it's all happy at the end and everything is great and blah, blah, blah. But I think this is very nuanced. It's very grey, right? Great, not visually, but just in a way, right? We're not dealing with good guys and bad guys, with, you know, beginnings and endings. This is this journey that's never going to end, right? Because that's recovery. That's what that is. And I think the film does that, right? It's showing you people. It's not going, these are the people we love, these are the people we hate, right? This is our villain, this is our hero. It's just like, yo, these are people's lives. We're going to watch this young lady navigate hers. And that's interesting. That's very interesting, you know? So, yeah, for your feature directorial debut, this is a really great showing, right? It shows real potential. Being able to, you know, craft this story, put this out there, you know, wear all of these hats while doing it, but also getting these kind of performances from this cast. You know what I mean? Because, again, we aren't asking people to do these big, bombastic things, right? You have to be subtle. You have to be nuanced. Right, so being able to relay that there's a skill. There's a skill, and Elizabeth has really shown something. Really has. You know what I mean? It's one of those things to be like, I really enjoyed this. I mean, that's a tough thing to say, and you know, not because I hated it, but it's just because it's such a raw film that I don't know you can enjoy something like this. You can, like, you know what I mean, really just marvel at the production, at the way it's been constructed and crafted, you know? I mean, you can definitely do that. And, you know, the storytelling. So I completely dug those aspects of this, like emotionally, yeah, this was a tough one, but it's very good. It is very good. So, Me Little Me is out on the 8th. The 8th? What? I don't even know what day it is today, people. I am losing track. I think this podcast is killing me. But yeah, I mean, it's out on Friday, right? It's out on Friday. Links will be on the website. So go and check it out, right? It's, it's not, it's not a feel-good film. I mean, it's not that, like, people getting slaughtered and murdered and everything like that. But it's just, it's a journey, man. So, like, think about what you want from your evening, your day, before you watch. But definitely check this one out, because I think Elizabeth is a director we will be seeing more of for sure. And this cast, we're definitely going to be seeing these peoples in some big ass roles, because they do a fantastic job. So yes, Me Little Me, go check it out, okay? And yet again, AJ knocks it out the park.